And there are various diets that we want to get through, various types of fat diets that we want to get through. And if you've got a question, you can also dial the number 0719 0126 or SpiceFM KE. Mr. Ndolo says, and Benji's been on the journey for a while. He says, you know what, excellent choice of topics. Good one there. Good one there. So, I remember you had Ashley on the carpet.
Yes.
Yeah? And you said, hey, these diets you talk are very highbrow. These are for the people who are right now sitting on the patio at the Karen Golf and Country. They're in the pink at Muthaiga.
So what I was saying is that when you talk about whole meal or whole grain, what automatically comes to mind is the brown unga, the brown rice, the brown bread, which usually costs a little bit more.
Yes. And so I'm curious if anybody can write in and tell us what the cost difference is, or maybe you guys know, is it 20 bob? Is it something like that? But what I would like to challenge these people on, because drinking is a big part of Kenyan culture. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Yes.
It's about priorities. Can I afford the extra 20 bob on the brown unga and the brown bread, or am I saving that up to go drink my Tusker burritos on the weekend?
Right.
And we have to look at this being an investment in our health, because if you don't invest in your health and in your body, it will catch up to you, and now you're going to pay that money in doctor bills, in medications, in lab works, and all of these sorts of things. And then I also want to say too, this is where we work on the individual approach, where somebody says to me, Ashley, I can't afford brown rice, I can't afford the brown bread. Great, let's talk about what you can afford that still makes a balanced plate.
Right.
Many people don't know this about me, and I'm going to share this. I lived in Ushago for 1 year, so I know the Kenyan food, okay? And I know the different availabilities and affordabilities of these things, right?
Yes.
So we can make anything work in balance with any budget. But that's, again, where we get to the individualized perspective. So if people can't afford brown rice or brown unga, fine, have your uji. Okay, have your cassava, have your sweet potatoes, have your viazi, have your chapati. But again, what ingredients are we using? So again, we pick out of each food category, the balance plate, we pick the most affordable carbohydrates, the ones I just listed, what are affordable to you. For protein, it's going to be beans and lentils as opposed to meat. Okay, so we focus on that then. When it comes to the vegetables, the bogas, cabbage, carrots, onions, tomatoes, avocado, what's in season, focus on that. And I know tomatoes and onions can get high, then don't have those. Have the other vegetables.
So skuma, thank you. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
All of these other things, have your modokoi, have your maize, all of these things. So anything can fit within a budget. We just have to look what's in your budget. But I sincerely think a lot of people really need to take a second look at their priorities. If you're affording to go to the gym, but you're telling me you can't afford brown bread,
because honestly, because I'm in the bakery. I'm saying this in her presence. I'm in the bakery section alone. And I don't buy bread. That is, it's for the staff, the maid. Okay, and the shamba person.
Yes.
But me, I do buns because I have sandwiches. And when we talk about the prices, brown buns and white buns are the same price. We talk about particular types of brown bread that this person.
I was going to say that.
Yes, you see now that person is the one who's being elitist. By the way.
So I think what she's getting at is you go to a certain nice bakery and you get the French rye sourdough. Of course, that's more expensive.
I'm not talking about colored bread. I'm talking about the real brown bread.
You go and you get the festive white or the festive brown. Is there a big price difference?
No.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going to these bougie places. Of course, that gets very high. And I'm saying then, let's look at reducing our meat consumption and focusing on lentils and cereals, as Kenyans call them, and beans and dengu and all these other things. We don't have to eat meat. So let's take a look at our priorities. Let's look at our budget and let's see where we want to invest our money and where it matters.
Correct.
Good one. You should head to politics next. Now, so that's high protein, low carb.
Yes.
That is not recommended. Next on the hit list.
Now we're going to go to high fat, low carb, so keto. Do you know where the keto diet originated?
That sounds Japanese. Is it?
the keto diet, where did it start?
Okay, because keto to me, keto sounds Japan.
Keto, you guys heard of the keto diet?
I know the keto diet.
Yes, you've heard of it.
Yes.
And it's a fad diet, and many people are doing it.
Yeah.
But do you know where it came from originally?
No
idea.
No.
Do you know it was a medically prescribed diet for children with epilepsy? They found that if kids with epilepsy, which is uncontrolled seizures, went on a keto diet, which is low carb, high fat, they were able to reduce the occurrence of seizures. So this is what happens so many times. There's a specific diet for a specific medical reason, and the diet industries get a hold of it and try to promise healthy and quick results. And hey, here's a new fad diet. Try it. It works. Not knowing why it was even created, not looking at the other side effects. So the thing with the keto diet, I have so many concerns about this, right? It's medically prescriptive and appropriate for somebody with epilepsy, the kids with it, absolutely evidence-based. But for the average person, this is high fat, and fat is good, right? But what type of fat is it? In the keto diet, I see a lot of have the burger and the bacon, but skip the bun and the veggies. Tell me, how does that make logical sense that it's healthier and going to help you? But then you'll have, the healthier version, quote unquote, have the coconut oil with your eggs, do the coconut fat bombs with coconut oil. Coconut oil is a saturated fat. Okay? So do you know that I work with clients, this is the truth, that have done the keto diet and are now coming to me because of high cholesterol?
Oh, wow.
You guys, these are the side effects I am talking about. We need to look at the big picture. Again, please don't do anything in the name of skinny or in the name of losing weight, because it can give you other health problems. So when we do the keto diet, many times it's very, very high in saturated fats. So it is hurting our cardiovascular health. What is one of the number one killers, of the Western world of people that have money that are now in Kenya eating KFC, things like this? It's heart disease.
Exactly. Yes.
People have high cholesterol. So how is this helping us, right? So we really need to look at the big picture. The other thing, again, is we're not having carbs. So we're going to be low on energy. We are going to have bad gut health. Not enough bowel movements, makes us feel bloated, all these other things. And many times I hear people with diabetes that they're going to try this diet because it's low carb, it's better for me. It's actually very dangerous because now you're taking your blood sugar lowering medications, but you haven't consumed carbs. So now your blood sugar that's already low is going to get even lower, and you can literally have a seizure or a stroke and be in very serious health conditions. So there are serious risks. I am not exaggerating on this.
Why is cholesterol important, and what is cholesterol?
Yeah, so cholesterol is basically a fatty part in our veins and arteries, okay? And we're meant to have an amount of cholesterol, okay, in our body. It's needed for hormones, for things like this. But again, everything in the proper amounts. And when our cholesterol gets too high, especially the bad cholesterol or the LDL cholesterol, it clogs our arteries and puts us at risk for heart attacks.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes. So saturated fats increase the cholesterol in our body. And the keto diet is very high in those saturated fats. And then again, with all these diets, you'll see they emphasize on one food group and forget the rest and label them as bad. So now I'm worried about your nutrition. I'm worried about your fruits and vegetables. People talk about gut health, but they're not feeding, their gut with fiber and nutrients. By the way, did you guys know gut health? It's the bacteria in our gut, yeah? It's a living thing. So if we want that to grow, survive, and thrive, we need to feed it. What is the food for probiotics? It's fiber from carbs and fruits and vegetables. So many people are like, yeah, I want to do gut health. I want to lose weight. I want to worry about my heart. But then we're doing the opposite. And whatever we're choosing to do is not helping those things because we haven't been educated or we've been given poor information.
Okay.
So I get really concerned. And then you're going to have a lot of sugar cravings, right? Because you're not eating the carbs.
Yes. So basically, man, it's like we're going down a deep dark hole.
Yeah.
So from the first high protein, low cholesterol, that one is a
high protein, low carb.
Low carb, sorry. That's a no. Now we've got the keto diet. Definitely, if you do not have a child with epilepsy, this one is a definite zero, no, forget.
Kabisa. Yes.
We are going down a deep dark hole.
Yes.
What's next?
So the next one is going to be detox and cleanses and smoothie diets and juicing. And oh my gosh, how many ads do I get for this a day?
Yes.
So we have a liver and we have kidneys.
Right.
That God gave our bodies.
Yes.
Amazing. He knew what he was doing. He was creating us. Okay? So let us nourish our liver and our kidneys so they can function optimally and do the detoxifying that they are meant to do.
Let them do their job.
Yes.
No induced.
Yes.
No. And in fact, you know what? I was listening to a dietitian talk one time about this, and this is spot on.
Yes.
Basically, for a detox, you are paying a lot of money to induce diarrhea and induce dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. That's what you're doing. So a lot of times people are like, yeah, do you know how much stool I had when I did the detox? All that nasty is coming out. Yeah, because you induced diarrhea with whatever they were giving you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not...
What's the danger of doing that just once?
The danger, yes, because electrolyte imbalances, dehydration, you're not being properly nourished, vitamin and nutrient deficiencies, not functioning optimally. It's very, very dangerous, actually. And then when we do the juicing, you know, that's another big thing. So when you're juicing, you're removing the fiber from the fruits and from the vegetables. That is where all the nutrition is. So basically, you're just giving your body a blood sugar spike. No protein, no fat.
Pause, Ashley. Okay. Now, so anyone, and oh man, and that's one of the reasons why I bought a juicer. So,
But the juicer keeps the fiber, right?
no.
The smoothie keeps
Yes,
the
the
fiber
fiber.
because you
Oh,
put
good.
the whole
Yes.
fruit,
sorry.
you put the whole
Yes,
banana,
yes.
you know,
There you go.
the whole
Yes.
orange, whatever it is. Yeah. So smoothies are better, but we still need to make sure they're balanced,
Right.
like we talked about last week.
Yes. So natural. So me going and buying the mangoes, because I got the juicer.
Yeah.
Buying the mangoes and the pineapples. And then running them through the juicer. There I was, you know, I don't need to be buying juice off the shelf because this is more natural and healthier.
Yes.
I'm still removing the quality from the product.
You are. So ideally, you would rather eat the mango.
Skip you, Ashley.
So ideally, you would rather eat the mango,
Yes.
eat the banana, eat
Yes.
the pineapple because you're getting the fiber and all the nutrients from it
Damn.
rather than removing some. But if you're like, hey, it's a Saturday morning, I
Yes.
want
Bus,
juice,
bus.
having fresh squeezed
Right,
juice is
right.
awesome.
Okay,
And of
okay,
course,
okay.
making it in your own house is
Right,
great.
right.
But to say I'm on a juicing diet
Yes.
to cleanse, to lose weight, to do all this, and that's all you have, no, that's the wrong approach. Now, a serving of juice is 120 ml. That's it. And don't have the juice alone. Have it as part of a meal where there's protein and fiber to help suppress that blood sugar spike and to help you feel fuller for longer and more satisfied and energized throughout the day.
Wow, she's busted that bubble.
Again, everything in moderation. Yeah. So again, this whole idea is to really empower people with information. And at the end of the segment, I'm sure you're going to ask me, Ashley, so what do we do from here? You busted
Yes,
our bubble
yes,
on everything.
yes.
So I have an answer. And it's a really good one. It's really easy. You'll be happy with it.
Okay.
So
Smoothies then.
Okay.
Because a lot of us now do that.
Yeah.
Remember, I mentioned this to
Yeah.
you last week. And also, father-in-law's on I told you, potato something. It's weird.
The potato smoothie.
Yeah.
wow,
Just
I'm
no
wondering how
potatoes.
that tastes.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Must be disgusting.
Yeah. So smoothies is now a thing.
Yes.
So I hope I've not, thrown you off balance there.
No.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, so for smoothies, you know, a smoothie can be a great option. I would prefer that as opposed to juicing, right? As long as it's balanced. So we have our carbs in there, we have our whole fruits in there, we add some vegetables, we have protein in there, okay? So that can be an option. It's a great quick fix for a lot of people, breakfast on the go. If you're at the gym, you need more protein, a quick snack, whatever the case. But to only have smoothies, you'll notice I'm not an extremist with nutrition.
Exactly. Yeah.
To only do this,
Yeah.
to completely cut this, yeah? That's where the issue comes. So if we're constantly drinking and not chewing, that can also mess with our gut.
I see, okay.
Because chewing
Yeah.
starts the digestive process
see.
and releases
Yes,
the enzymes
yes.
in our mouth. And if we're just sipping, it's going straight to the gut.
Yeah, you see, because I was going to ask, because,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so let me boil my skuma wiki. Because if you boil it long enough,
Yeah.
obviously it dissolves.
Yeah.
And then I drink that juice.
Yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Oh, clearly not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot of these kind of things here. Again, looking at the big, picture, asking ourselves these questions. So again, a smoothie a day, great, quick fix. Make sure it's balanced. That's awesome. But to just say, I'm just doing smoothies and this is my way to lose weight. Also matters what you put in the smoothie. Is it high calorie? Is it healthy things? Is it enough protein? Is it too much fat? Is it the right type of fat? Is it the wrong type of fat? We have to, again, the devil's in the details. So again, just eat food. Just eat food. Just eat real food. Eat your meals. Don't skip them. Eat your snacks. And also, guys, this comes down to a healthy and positive relationship with food.
Right.
And
Right.
yes, I want to maybe lose some weight, but I
Right.
also care about my heart health.
Right.
I also care about my gut health.
Right.
I also care about my energy.
Yeah.
I also care about my muscles.
Yes, yes,
You can't care
yes.
about all those things when you're just focused on being skinny and doing an extreme measure.
I like that.
Is there a good way of detoxing?
No.
Okay.
Literally, there is nothing. Again, none of that is science-based. I challenge anyone to
Actually,
bring me.
you don't embellish, huh? Actually, just here. Have
I
it.
challenge anyone to bring me a medical evidence research paper
Right.
on the efficacy of any detox out
Right,
there
right.
and how it's beneficial for you. And then prove to me that those results have been repeated
Right.
several times
Right.
and in large populations and large studies and different ethnicities. I
yes.
promise you won't find it.
I like that. I like that. Well, see, I'm telling you now, we're drilling for oil. We're going to the center of the earth here. So liquid diet and what you call detoxing,
Detoxing, not
out
happening.
later. All right.
And the juicer
Well,
wow.
you guys, everything in moderation. So your juicer is great. If you're going to have juice with your
Vitamin.
breakfast,
Yes,
yeah.
bus,
But
bus,
again,
bus.
we're not going to do the juicing
Indeed. Yes,
diet.
yes,
We're
yes.
not going to not eat.
Yes.
We're going to
Yeah.
make sure we have protein. We're going
Yeah.
to make sure we have fiber. All these sorts of things. Yeah.
All right. So that's number 3 on the hit list. Where we at?
Intermittent fasting.
my best.
Oh. This is the one I honestly do not understand. Because most people, and we were talking about socioeconomic and, ethnicities and race.
Yes, yes.
But most people, anyway, in deep, dark Africa, fast intermittently anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yes.
It is like,
Because they're working hard in the
bars.
shambas.
There
They
you
don't
go.
have time.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's there, Asibui, you're out there doing the next thing you know,
Yes.
sunset
It's already-
at 7
Yeah.
p.m.
Yep.
The
Yep.
last thing I had
Fast
was 6
fasting.
o'clock. Yeah, 12
Exactly.
hours fasting.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
now let's make it a thing. I'm like, why?
Yeah, yeah. So they're not intentionally doing that,
Right,
right? Like
yes,
it's because they
yes,
don't have access to
yes,
food or
yes,
they're working
yes.
too hard,
Bus,
right?
bus.
So that's not an intentional thing.
Yes.
So now when people are doing it intentionally to get a certain effect, like
Yes.
weight loss,
Yes.
that's also a different story. And that's where now I'm giving the advice.
Okay, so-
Is this good for weight loss?
Okay, so let's paint the picture for us, Wairimu. Why are people generally doing, before we break down the science, actually,
Sure, yes.
why are people doing intermittent fasting? Why that one?
For health benefits.
Clearly. What benefits? Yeah.
And the bigger part of it, I was doing it because we've been educated. I don't know whether it's real information on how the body heals itself. So when you deprive your body of food for this X number of hours, you allow your organs to be better functional because you're not overworking them. That's what we've been told.
Okay. Yeah, so I hear that a lot. But then how are you healing your body if you my question to that would be people that are saying that how do you heal your body without the presence of nutrition? Nutrition is how our body heals itself. So again, we need to provide that for our body so it can work as it's meant to work. So this whole idea of my gut needs a rest, that sort of thing, it's resting while you're sleeping. So it doesn't need to rest during the day. And then again, the other thing is, again, we're having these extreme measures, right? Like where we're not eating anything all night, that we're not eating anything for the first, 12 hours of the day, 14, 16, you name it. And then all of a sudden we're overwhelming our gut and our digestive tract with this giant meal. Okay? So again,
It sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it's this extreme measure. So then we tell ourselves, I can eat whatever I want because it's my only meal. And, it's all about calories in, calories out. So technically there's no way I can eat all my daily calories in there. I'm going to lose weight because I'm in a calorie deficit.
Yes.
Weight loss is not as simple as a calorie deficit. What is supporting our metabolism? What is supporting our organs? What is, is this causing more stress to our body? Remember, higher stress levels make it harder for our body to lose weight. you may not feel the mental stress of not eating, but your body feels that stress because your body thinks, I'm on a stranded island, I'm in survival mode. And then it actually works to say, I need to now conserve the energy I have in my body. So your brain releases a hormone called leptin, which down-regulates your thyroid, which down-regulates your metabolism to conserve energy and burn very conservatively, because your body doesn't know when you're going to eat again.
Well,
So tell me about it's called autophagy. That's what people try to achieve, the 72 hours, where they say that the bad cells are destroyed and you get new cells. It's actually it's there, it's all over the place. So every time people are doing the 72 hours, they're trying to achieve that.
Try to achieve renewed cells.
Yes, renewed cells.
Yeah, so-
and it has a name. I think it's autophagy.
So I would have to look into that and see the science for it. But your body is always making new cells. And again, the best way to ensure that we're creating new healthy cells would be to give our cells optimal nutrition. Every cell needs protein. Every cell needs energy. Every cell needs all of these basic micro and macronutrients. So that doesn't make sense to me if we're not nourishing our body, how that's able to happen. But I'm happy to look into that because
Please do.
I have to be honest, I haven't heard of that. So I can definitely look into that. But I wouldn't recommend that. Again, we have to look at, how are we nourishing our body? What is our healthy and positive relationship with food? Many times when people are intermittent fasting, they're going to the gym in this fasted state, saying, I'm going to burn fat. So we have to look at biochemistry. How is our body burning fuels and in which order? This is not controlled by humans. This is, again, innate. This is your body. First of all, for energy, you burn the food you ate. Then you go to the glycogen stores in your liver. Then you go to the muscle. Then you go to the fat. And because it takes a long time for fat cells to be optimized to be able to burn them
stop
as
the
energy.
press. Stop the press. So, let's be clear.
Yes.
You will burn the muscles before you burn the fat.
Yes. And many times what we're trying to achieve is gaining muscle.
Exactly. And
Building
burn fat.
muscle.
Yes.
Yes. But you're not achieving that by skipping a meal and doing a fasted exercise. And I promise you will be more efficient and effective in the gym. You will lift more. You will go harder in the gym. You will see better results when you nourish your body. Like, how can your car drive without fuel? Just like how can your body perform without fuel? Again, just because your body can do it doesn't mean it's optimal. Your body is going to adapt to survive, but that does not mean it's thriving. And I'm all about thriving.
Ashley, I like the fact that what you're saying is based on science. So you're not a propagandist.
No.
Now, this is the thing, though. Everything she's saying, all of these diets now,
Yes.
she's scaring me more and more. Yes?
Why am I scaring you?
No, because, there was this one was the keto diet before this one. Yeah? I was like, okay, it cannot get worse. But then now intermittent fasting, because yes, you see, it's now, it sounds kind of dangerous.
So let me just talk about my role as a dietitian is to nourish your body
I love
so it can
Yeah.
function optimally.
Yeah.
So whenever
Yes.
people are taking nutrition out of their diet, they're taking food groups out of their diet,
Yes.
they're not eating enough,
That's right.
I get concerned.
That makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
our body needs proper fuel to function optimally, and so we can fuel our best. I'm doing a presentation tomorrow on nutrition and how it impacts mental health.
Sure.
So you see, it impacts every piece of our body.
Right.
And so, again, going back to intermittent fasting, I look, and as a dietitian, I'm concerned, how can I possibly nourish you with a day's worth of nutrition that your body requires in one meal? I can't.
Okay, now break this down for me for somebody who's listening in, because this is, of the fat diets, especially for the dudes, this is the one that they're doing a lot now.
Yes.
Explain this to me, because there's 12 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours. Is it, you go 72 hours below eating?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. But not without just eating. You take the broth. You can do
Bone
that.
broth.
Yes, the bone broth.
Yeah.
That's allowed.
But there's
And
no
water.
carbs, so you're not breaking your fast
Yes.
technically. So you're still fasted. You can also
Yes.
drink black coffee,
Yes, yes,
things
yes.
like
I
this.
see.
Because
Okay.
yeah, so you can take those things, but it's still not the calories that you need. It's still not the amounts of protein that you need. I just look at people and I want them to ask themselves, what is my goal? Am I trying to build muscle? Am I trying to lose weight? Am I trying to be healthy? Am I trying to reduce my risk for heart disease? And now ask yourself, is your way of losing weight helping you achieve all of that? Because when people work with me, they can achieve all of it.
I like that.
And having a healthy and positive relationship with food. I also ask people, what is this doing to your social life? If you're intermittent fasting and now it's your kid's birthday party, or now there's a brunch with your friends, what are you going to do? You know?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, wow. All right. Low carb, high protein.
Low carb, high protein. So we did that one in the beginning.
Okay. Low fat, no fat.
Oh yeah, low fat, no fat. Yes. So there was this idea and this theory in the 90s that fat was bad for you, right? So we saw all this fat.
Pause. I thought that's the idea we still have Paka
We
today.
still have it.
Okay,
Still
people
today.
still have it, yes.
Yes,
But I'm telling you when it started.
Right,
So it
okay,
started
okay,
in the 90s,
okay,
yes.
okay.
That low fat, no fat, you know, that's where we saw fat-free this, fat-free that, a lot of processed things, now more carbs entering the diet. We actually increased the obesity epidemic around the world by
Yes,
doing
by
that.
the way,
yeah?
yes, by the
Because
way.
now we had more
Ironically,
refined and
yeah.
processed foods.
Yeah.
Fat does not make you fat.
Come on.
Fat is an essential macronutrient for your brain, for your heart. Yeah? And we talk about anti-inflammatory diets, right? Guess what? That's having healthy fats. The Mediterranean diet, we've heard about that.
Yes.
The best diet in the world. Do you know that is a diet that has a lot of fat in it? But it's the right type of fat. So here's another thing.
The olive oils and all of that.
Olive oils and all that. Avocado,
Wow, yes.
macadamia. So local things that we have here as well.
Which animal fat is healthy?
Which animal fat? None. Animal fat is saturated fat. So we can have some, but we need to be mindful of the portion that we're having. So when I say heart healthy fats, I'm talking about avocado, olive oil, canola oil,
Canola oil, you
which
said
is
that last
locally
week.
produced
Yes.
in Kenya and affordable.
Yes.
Especially there is a brand I would love to promote here because it's the local one in Kenya.
Yeah.
Mega Fry by Pure Mountain. Very
Right.
affordable. So I encourage everyone to look at that. That's actually an omega-3, by the way.
Ashley, say that one more time. Slow it down. Which one?
Which one? Pure Mountain Mega Fry
Okay.
canola oil, and that is omega-3s. And so that's very affordable. You can use it for anything and everything.
What are omega-3s?
Omega-3s are those heart healthy fats that we don't get a lot of, that many people take fish oil to get. So I say get it from your food and get it in an affordable, sustainable way.
Shop, shop.
So there you have that.
Shop.
So here's fat keeps you fuller for longer on a smaller amount of food. So it aids in weight management. The other thing, did you know if you don't have fat present, you cannot absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K
Okay. So if you do not have fat present where?
in the meal? You cannot absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K.
All right, we're back to school.
Yes.
Dr.
Yeah,
Tariq,
what are those essentials for?
yes. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is good for?
Immunity, skin,
That's
eyes.
critical. Okay.
Yes.
D.
Bones, teeth. Like seriously, vitamin D is one of the most researched vitamins. Every day they're coming out with the new
Sharp.
things. Immunity,
Sharp.
things. And I will say, most people are deficient in vitamin D. Deficient, even though we have the sun.
Bas. I love that. And K?
K is good for blood clotting.
Wow.
Yes.
Those are all critical.
So that's in our skooma and our spinach, our
yes.
dark leafy greens. Yeah. So we need fat with them.
Yes.
Yes. So A, D, E, and K.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I missed E. Then
E.
E.
Yep. So that's good for our skin.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're telling me if I'm having skuma wiki and ugali, then skuma wiki might not be processed without me putting in the fat.
Yes. I'm saying you won't
right
get
fat.
Yes, and I'm saying you won't get the maximum nutrition, especially vitamins A and K that are found in the skooma because you don't have fat with it.
Wow.
So here's an example what I hear many people do, okay? All right, Ashley, I'm going to have salad or just vegetables for lunch. No dressing, no fat, no nuts, no avocado, no cheese, fat-free, just vegetables. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get skinny. First of all, sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's no flavor. Sounds boring.
Yeah.
There's no protein. But now, all those nutrients you had available to you in all of those vegetables, you're not getting them because there's no fat present.
So
And you're
there's-
going to be starving in five minutes.
There's another diet, steaming your food, all your food.
Yes.
Is that okay?
So, like steaming meat, steaming carbs. So, like you're eating all the foods, you're just steaming it. It's just the method of cooking.
Yes.
Sure, that's great. You can
But you must add oil. at this point.
Okay.
No?
So you're asking me or you're telling
Yes,
me?
I'm actually asking you.
Yes, so you would add oil to it. So is the idea to not add any fat?
Yes.
Yes, so you would need to add fat to absorb those nutrients. And again, remember, fat is an important macronutrient. The human body requires protein, fat, and carbs, period. Like, we need to have those macronutrients.
Actually, I like the fact that you asked Waweru, are you asking me or telling me? I want you to tell me.
Okay.
Fat is a must.
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes. Fat is a must. You must include fat in your diet at every single meal, every single day.
So in that scenario where we have basically everything is steamed.
Yes.
I've done that, steaming and boiling, no oil, no nothing.
It also sounds really boring and
actually
bland.
really sweet.
I'm a
Once
foodie,
you get
so I
used
could
to
never
it.
do that.
Yes.
By the way, I love food.
Yes.
People need to know that. So I'm talking about
Must.
enjoying your food and
Yes.
still getting these results.
Yes.
But yeah, so there's no fat.
I never used to put any fat. I just put the herbs. and
No.
I'm good
So
to go.
put herbs. Awesome. So put herbs, put fat, healthy fats. Yeah, make your food tasty, enjoyable. Because here's the other thing. When people, whatever you do to lose weight, you must be able to continue to do or you will gain the weight back. And that's why we say so many people not have sustainable weight loss.
Yeah.
Because what they do is not realistic and it's not enjoyable.
Yes.
It's not sustainable. It puts them in worse health. They have cravings. We have this idea where we start a diet, we're very restrictive. Now we have cravings, then we binge, then we feel guilty, then we have low self-esteem, then we start the cycle again with the next fad diet.
Okay. Wow. Waweru,
Yes.
we've gone through the list of diets, the fad diets, right?
Yes.
Keto, paleo, then low carb, intermittent, detox, cleanse, low fat, no fat, high protein, low carb. Now, not judging, my darling, but you've tried most of these.
I've tried.
And clearly, we've heard what Ashley says, and now you're representing the listener.
Yes.
How has that gone for you thus far?
And be honest.
The funny thing is this. I might not know what is happening on the inside, but I see what is happening on the outside. So sometimes I like the results because, if I wanted to have a slimmer waist, then I achieve it. And sometimes it happens very fast.
So my question would be, if you've achieved it, then why did you have to try all these different diets?
Because it gets boring.
In a
As you said, maybe the
respectful way.
sustainability is a problem.
Yeah.
But it gets boring, so you want to switch it up.
Yeah.
And to be more honest, sometimes I'm told my face is looking a bit unhealthy. When people who are used to seeing you see you, they're like, "Hey, what's up with your face? You're looking a bit dull." So I switch it up sometimes.
And it's because of the nourishment we're not getting.
And Ashley, maybe unfair question, but obviously we know in terms of medicine, drugs.
Yeah, like prescriptions.
Yes, the placebo effect.
Yes.
Does that also happen in this dieting?
So you can't lose weight in a placebo way. You can feel better. You can say, I feel better since doing this diet. My mental health feels better. I'm sleeping better. I'm not having cravings. Those can be placebo effect, but the scale's not going to lie to you.
Sharp.
They can't lie. So you can say, I feel better by doing this, having that placebo effect, but or I feel more energy. I hear that all the time, and I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. So I sincerely feel that is the placebo effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Waweru, here we are.
Yes.
Man, Ashley has dissected this thing a good one. She has taken us to school. So, what next?
No, there was one question first. I think there's someone we've not covered. I saw that question. Someone asked, "What if they want to gain weight?"
Yeah. Okay. So that's a very good question. So I also work with that. So I know this episode is about losing weight, but again, there's a lot of other things that I work with. So some people want to gain weight. Some people want to gain muscle. So that's again gaining weight category. There's other different chronic diseases, IBS, heart disease, high cholesterol, things like that. So a dietitian works with all of those things, and that's definitely something I work with. Do you want me to comment on that, or do we save that?
Please.
Okay.
No. Because that's a direct question.
Yeah.
But yes, we have meandered this so much we're going to do about that. So that let's answer that specific question.
So the question is, how do I gain weight?
Yes.
Yeah. So
how do I diet to gain weight?
So there's going to be a lot of factors I would need to look at. Like, why does this person need to gain weight? How have they been eating? What have they been eating? What have they not been eating? Do they have a chronic condition? Are they on certain medications that are impacting this? What is their access to food? There's a lot of things there to look at. So it's really hard to say that. But in general, they're going to need to eat more. They're going to need to eat more calories. They're going to need to eat more carbs, eat more protein, eat more fat. They're going to have to eat more regularly, more calorie dense meals. So every time they eat, I need to make sure that I'm adding more calories to that. And then the other thing too is that I would suggest that they strength train, because by building muscle, you're also putting on healthy weight, because we don't just want to put on fat, we want to put on muscle, right? But maybe a person does need to put on fat. So again, we have to look at that individual and look at their body composition as well and see. But yeah, it's going to come down to eating more calories and most likely exercising less, again, depending on what they're currently doing.
So you see, dude, my brother, now this is where it's clear. And that is first of all, half of what Ashley says is Greek, but that's why she breaks it down for us. Carbs, protein, there you go. But anyway, Google is your friend.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
not about it. It's not about exercising. It's about building muscle.
Yes.
Which means lifting something.
Yes. Yes, for men and for women.
Bas.
There's so many benefits to that when it comes to hormone health, when it comes to metabolism, when it comes to flexibility, being able to continue to do the activities that you want to do as we age. Once we hit a certain age, we begin to lose lean body muscle, so we need to maintain that and build on that. It strengthens our bones, reducing the risk for osteoporosis. So there's so many benefits to strength training. Obviously good for our heart, cardiovascular, all of that stuff too.
Right. So now, which one worked best for you? Irimo?
At this rate, I might have to switch and try her way. But yes, no, really, because I've tried many things. I told you, sustainability is what you mentioned.
Yes.
Whatever I do has to be sustainable. And
Yes.
anyway, there's a reason why I've been going through all these diets, because sustainability,
Right.
it gets boring
Right.
sometimes,
Right.
or I just want to switch it up.
Yay, that makes
So
me so
I might want to try that.
Yes.
Then after how long should I see some
So
results?
it's going to depend on the individual, because it depends. Are you in
Actually, that's a good question.
Are you in an adaptive state, or are you in a survival state, or are you in a thriving
No,
state?
no, Ashley, don't do that.
Yes,
no,
because
no. What have you said?
Has she been restricting herself?
Yes.
So now her body has to get back to baseline. So it may take a while for her body to get back to baseline to accept these nutrients, to start to see the results longer than maybe somebody who's already incorporated healthier habits. If that yeah.
What you just said.
So an
made sense.
individualized
Yeah.
approach.
Right.
So and again, results are going to, so when I look at this, I'm also assessing not just your weight loss, I'm also looking at how are you showing up in your day? How is your mental health? How are you sleeping? How is your energy? How is your bowel movements? What does your gut health look like? What is your cholesterol?
Bowel movement, tell us, what's a healthy bowel movement?
Every single day, at least once.
Okay.
And not watery diarrhea and not constipation. And you
Once a
should-
day?
At least.
Okay.
Yes. What is your blood sugar at? What is your cholesterol at? What is your blood pressure at? So all of these are what we need to consider when looking at a healthy diet. That is a holistic approach to wellness. I don't care about people just losing weight. Yes, that's one thing. But let's look at all of these factors together and work on them cohesively so you can feel your best and it's sustainable. And we're not putting you in a worse health condition than when you started.
And you told us not to rely on the BMI.
Yes, because all BMI is looking at is it saying, Ashley, you're 5'4", you should be 120 pounds. What is that in kgs? Like 60. Ashley, you're 5'4", you should be 60 kgs. I'm sorry. For me, that's not going to work.
So how do I know my ideal weight?
Exactly. Good question. So what that's doing is that's only taking into account your weight to your height. It's not looking at my bust. It's not looking at my shape. It's not taking into account different ethnicities, right? Have different body shapes. Women have different body shapes. It's not looking at my muscle mass. Do you know if we had athletes do their BMI, they would be in the obese category of BMI because of their muscle mass. So it does not look at body composition. So as an individual, and then we have this calculation chart, ideal body weight. For my height, I should be at this. I should be at this weight. No. I also don't like that. Because I would look at you and I'd say, you know what? Where have you been at your weight when you're eating healthiest? Where does your body tend to fall? Right? And then you would say, most of my life, I've usually been about 65 kgs and now I'm 80. I'm just making this up. Okay, let's first of all start to get you back to about 70 and see how that goes. Because we need to work with your body, not against it. Yeah? And what were you doing when you were at that 65 kgs? Were you eating healthy? Were you eating balanced? Because if it's a nightmare to maintain your dream body, it's not a dream body.
So let's talk to breastfeeding mothers.
Yes.
They're the ones who struggle a lot with weight gain, yeah?
Yes.
What do you have for them?
For them, so this is a very individual thing as well. So when you're breastfeeding, you actually need to take in more calories than when you're pregnant. Imagine that. When you are breastfeeding, you need to take in more calories than when pregnant because of how much it takes out of your body to produce that milk. And you want your breast milk to be as nourishing as possible, okay? And you have to have a higher body fat percentage to be able to produce that milk. That's why women, when they're pregnant, add fat stores. Just naturally happens to do that. Now, there are some women who can lose weight and still maintain their breast milk. There's some women who can't. So you need to ask yourself, what is your priority? Is it weight loss and giving your baby formula? Or is it, no, I want to breastfeed my baby until they're 1 or 2, and then I'm going to work on weight loss? Because some women don't respond. Like with my second baby, breastfeeding was my goal. I couldn't lose the weight until I quit.
Wow. We're going to deal with IBS as a topic in it.
That's a great topic, yes.
But just a quick question, because my person is, suffers from IBS. Should people with IBS diet?
When you say diet, what do you mean? Do you mean try to lose weight?
Yes.
They can. They can try to lose weight, absolutely, with IBS. But there is an evidence-based diet meal plan for them specific to reduce their IBS symptoms.
Oh, good one.
So we'll talk about that. It's the
Yeah.
only evidence-based diet, and they have about, is it a 85 to 90% health positive response to this diet in terms of managing IBS symptoms.
Oh, thank God we found you. So listen, so finally, what supports our metabolism?
Building muscle.
Yeah, bo.
Eating regularly throughout the day, not skipping meals, eating balanced food groups like the balanced plate, so protein, carbs, fruit, vegetables, sleeping well, managing stress, healthy lifestyle, exercise.
Yeah, because actually when exercise does manage stress.
It does.
It does.
Yes?
It does.
When people ask me these questions, Ashley, how do I lose weight? Ashley, how do I support my metabolism? They're trying to look for a complicated, complex, expensive answer.
Yes.
Because that's what we've been trained by social media. But it's not.
Come on.
It's literally going back to the basics.
All right.
That's what it is.
All right. So, Waweru, did Ashley give you the answer when you asked what does one do for weight loss?
I don't think I did.
No, I'm struggling a bit.
Yes. So
I'm struggling because my question is there any time that you recommend dieting? Any time in someone's life? Maybe I'm obese.
So to lose weight, of course, absolutely. People come to me all the time to lose weight, 100%. I work with people to lose weight.
Hold on, Ashley. Before you go on, sorry
Yes. No, it's okay.
to stop you there. Because I've just had this and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah.
Are we saying that dieting is a bad word?
It doesn't have to be.
Do you see? She answers like a diplomat.
She's a politician. Huh?
It doesn't have to be, no.
Yeah.
It is, what is that diet composed of? Diet is a general word. Diet could mean keto. Diet could mean healthy and balanced. Diet could mean Mediterranean.
Yes.
So
Of
what
course,
diet
yes.
are we talking about?
Yeah.
So what I would recommend, because I've, cut through all these diets, these fad diets,
man.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would I recommend for somebody who's trying to achieve overall health and wellness as well as weight management?
Yes.
Again, these are general recommendations. So I have to work with an individual to give them an individual meal plan, portions, etc. for them based on their exercise, health conditions, right? So what I would say is, eat the balanced plate, okay? For breakfast, lunch, and supper. This is about 45 grams of carbs or a fist of carbs. This is your rice, your unga, your uji, your bread, your potato, your ugali, your chapo, and then protein.
Yes.
If you're going to do meat, it's about 100 grams, okay? Choosing the lean sources of meat. Or it's about a fist and a half of your beans or lentils or dengus. As much veg as you want, and then a fist of fruit. Okay, and all these can be locally available. You don't have to do imported crazy things by any means. Do the local stuff. Do the fresh. Do the unprocessed. Okay, so you have that for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Then eating every 2 to 4 hours to keep your energy levels stable, to keep your metabolism going. And this would be a snack that includes a carb and a protein. So this could be a banana and peanuts. This could be a yogurt. Okay, I'd recommend a Greek yogurt. So you have that in between breakfast and lunch, in between lunch and supper, and a bedtime snack if you want. Will not cause you to gain weight, okay? Because now that you're eating regularly, you are satisfying those cravings, you're nourishing your body. Cravings are a sign your body is not getting what it needs, okay? And also, you're not going to overeat or overindulge at that next meal occasion. You'll be able to keep your portions the right amount, because you've been eating and nourishing your body all day. Okay? Then I'd recommend at least 8 hours of solid sleep a night. Again, this isn't a perfect world. I get it. I work with people on an individual basis, but in a perfect world, you're asking me, yeah? 8 hours of sleep. At least 3 liters of water. Not drinking added sugar
I was
beverages.
going to ask that. Is that 8 glasses? Recommended
At least 8 glasses. I like to say 3 liters, so that's a bit more than the 3 liters.
Does it matter how you take it?
What do you mean? Like hot,
cold? If I take 1 liter now, then I take 1 liter at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's okay.
It doesn't
as long
matter.
as it's like your daily. Yeah.
Hold on. As long as, and then now that we're there, can I mix that with quencher juice?
No.
Quencher juice. That's like, oh no, that's added sugar. So what we want to do is keep water.
Sugar.
Yeah. So we also need to look at. Yeah. So everything in moderation.
Okay.
So you're asking, yeah. So the water, okay? And then if you want to have a juice with your breakfast because you have fresh oranges in your house, awesome.
Yes.
But keep it to 120 ml and make it a part of that balance plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so water. We talked about sleep, and then you need to be active. Just move more than you're currently moving. Okay. Now we have this idea we need to do HIIT and these intense workouts and this cardio and all this kind of stuff. Focus on strength training. Strength training 3 to 4 times a week, and make sure you rest. Many times we overdo it, but your body cannot build muscle, rest, and recover if you don't give it a day or 2 off every single week. So at least 2 rest days. Yeah. So again, it's in balance, and it's assessing every aspect.
Two rest days.
But still, how do I know my ideal weight? Since you scrapped off the BMI issue, how do I know my ideal weight?
So I would say to you, what weight are you now?
Myself, I'm 72.
Okay. And how long have you been that weight?
Oh, for like 10 years plus.
For the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you want to be?
Yeah, and where do you
68.
want? And have you ever been 68 in your life?
Yeah, a while back.
Then great, no problem, because that is a reasonable weight loss. That's like what, 5 kgs that you want to lose?
Yes.
No problem. Perfect. We can work on that. So now we're going to work on a meal plan with you, an exercise plan. I'd recommend you see a trainer, do your strength training. And when we talk about sustainable weight loss, we don't want to lose more than 1 kg per week. If we lose more than that, we're actually losing muscle and not fat. And there's going to be some weeks you don't lose weight. There's going to be some weeks you actually increase as a woman, because during our menses, we actually retain water and get bloated. So that's not an accurate representation of your weight. So we need to be mindful that as women, our weight will shift. So the best thing to do is look at body composition. So get a body composition analysis, because we want to build your muscle. So we also need to say, okay, your goal weight is 68 kgs, but what is your body fat percentage and your muscle? Because you may get down to 70 kgs and lose 3 dress sizes and look better than if you were 68 kgs based on body composition.
True. Okay.
So it's very hard to say your ideal body weight. But what I like to tell people is when you're eating appropriately, nourishing your body, your other health checks are in line, your mood is good, you're sleeping well, your bowel movements are well, that's how you know you're at a good weight.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that. So I think now that leaves us. We segue straight into, I think, next week.
Sure.
Yeah. You've got a guy.
I've got a guy.
Then next week, we're going to talk about the exercising and the diet.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can combine those two.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you know what? We need you. Oh, time flies when we're having fun. We need you to get involved, by the way. And Ashley Kiboda, you're a godsend. Listen, so it's about time.
Love it.
It's about time. So listen, follow Ashley, and we need you to ask those swallies, by the way. So next week, what we're going to do, Ashley promise to post
Yes.
the topic in advance.
Yes.
Days in.
Yes.
So that we can prep the questions.
Got it.
So that so like by Monday, so that Wednesday we know what we're talking.
Sawa.
And then pia unaweza kuuliza hiyo swali. I mean, now we know. Are we now more at ease about now how to, first of all, because we've got about what actually with this plan, it is about arresting development. If you kama unafuata nyayo yake, sasa now you will not gain weight. And then also, but the exercise is key.
It's key, yeah.
Yeah, it's all balanced.
That's the one reason. That's why I want you to bring the dude next week.
Yes, and it's
so
also
that you combine
lifestyle.
those two. Yes,
so
lifestyle.
that's the thing too. It's the lifestyle.
Right. Right. Wairimo. Yeni.
I'm very health conscious, so yeah.
Perfect.
Now-
I'll be waiting. I'm following what you told us last time.
Good.
So I
Woohoo.
want to,
Report
and I
back.
usually work out.
Okay.
So I'm going to observe myself in the next 2 weeks. I know there's no immediate result.
Yes, there's not.
And you'll be watching me. So
Okay.
I'll
And
get
strength
feedback
training.
directly from you.
Perfect.
Sorry, teacher. You are having a tete-a-tete. It's like I'm not here. Listen, so 3 liters of water. But Ashley is like 60 kgs. Waweru is 72 now. Some of us are going to 100.
Yes.
Is it still that 3 liters?
In general, right? Remember,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
giving
sharp,
general
sharp.
advice.
That's
yes.
what the body needs.
Yes, in general, to detoxify, to support our liver, our kidneys, support our cells, our skin, all these sorts
Okay.
of things. Yes, in general. So
Wait,
again, I'm giving
Ashley?
general
Based
recommendations.
on that, actually,
Yeah.
how about a person who sweats too much? Do they need more water?
Yes, and then we would need to look at electrolytes as well.
Yes. Now, what are you see, those Greek words. What electrolytes?
Yes, so sodium, potassium, chloride, all of those.
What's that good for?
So that is very important for every cell to be able to function optimally,
Right.
And to keep our body in a homeostasis place
Yes.
where all of our organs function.
Right.
Basically, if we don't have electrolytes in balance, we can have heart issues. The
you.
electrical parts of our body will not work.
Thank you, because I
On the
was
spot, that was a really intense answer. But basically, electrolytes are so important, or we'll be dehydrated. So think about all the negative impacts of dehydration. If your electrolytes are out of bounds, you will have dehydration.
So sweating is losing water. in
Yes.
short.
Yes, and electrolytes. Yes.
now dehydration.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. And speaking on behalf of most dudes, yes, I'm speaking on behalf of you, dude. Most guys don't like water.
True.
And in fact, for me, actually, it's only last year, not last year, that would be the year before, 23. Then the doc was like, you've got to actually start drinking more water.
Yes.
What happens if you don't drink enough water? An unfair question. So if one drinks less than a liter of water a day, what's the long game there?
So you're at
End
risk.
result,
You're at risk for dehydration.
Yeah.
You're not urinating enough.
Yes.
You also can be constipated.
Yes.
Because you need fiber and water to get the stool moving. So constipation could also be an issue. You can get foggy brain because your brain also requires water.
Right.
There's a million and one things. Your cells, your skin.
Yes.
There's a lot that water is very, very essential.
Yes.
So I would work with those people on slowly increasing, again, small sustainable changes,
Right.
starting where you're at and then slowly improving on them. You mentioned you don't like water. So then look at, do I like my water room temperature? Do I
Right.
like it hot? Do I like it cold? Do I want sparkling water?
Yes.
Do I want still water? Can I add lemon? Can I add mint to it? Can I do water infused? Can I maybe add a little juice to get myself used to it? I would see that as a benefit. It really helps to have a straw. A
Yes.
water bottle with a straw, because you do it mindlessly. Did you see how many times I sipped
Yes,
here?
yes,
And I
yes.
drink 3 of these a day. or more.
But I'm wondering with Kwach, what
Yes.
happened there? Why did your doctor tell you that you need more water?
No, because I went to I did my yearly consult. I was like, my friend, first you just need to start drinking more
So
water.
you weren't sick? There was no issue?
No.
No, so you don't
Just a
feel
healthy-
it. You don't feel
Yeah.
necessarily
Yes,
things, and your
yes.
body adapts.
Yes.
So I would maybe kidney levels were off.
There we go. Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They can tell, and maybe your electrolytes were off too. They can tell in the blood.
thank you.
Welcome. Thanks
Ashley?
for having me.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Sugar and spice.